Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Michelle, for those that don't know me, and I'm a trauma-informed recovery coach. And today I want to talk about self-abandonment. It's one of those things that if you have been through emotional trauma and you had parents for whatever reason, whether they were narcissistic or emotionally unavailable for whatever reason, if you had parents that emotionally abandoned you, then emotional abandonment is normal. A big part of self-abandonment to me is that when we go out into the world or when we're with other people, instead of showing up as any and all the pieces of ourselves, we harshly judge certain pieces of ourselves as bad, as unworthy, as embarrassing, as less than. We are judging these pieces of ourselves normally because in childhood, somebody else judged them, right? We were rejected, we were insulted, we were criticized just for being ourselves. And so now it's internalized. And so now we're going out into the world, we're being around people, and we're basically saying to these pieces of ourselves, you embarrass me. There's something severely wrong with you. I need to hide you and be what they want me to be so that I can gain acceptance. Now, imagine saying that to a child. Imagine literally saying that to a child 4 to 6 years old. What is that child going to feel? They're going to feel horrible. They're going to be mortified. They're either going to be shut down or in high anxiety, or they're going to show up in a trauma response. I don't think anyone watching this video and wanting to improve themselves would ever talk to a child like that. But we will talk to our own inner child like that, right? Go away. There's something wrong with you. I should be this. I need to be this. If I'm like this, then they will love me. They will accept me. Meanwhile, the acceptance that we're craving from outside of self, we are not giving to ourselves. We're taking the pieces and we're hiding them. We're basically saying, I don't accept you, but I want them to accept me. Now, to be fair, anyone that's doing this, and let me tell you, I was extremely, extremely guilty of this for a really, really long time. Anyone doing this usually does this because that's how you were treated when you were younger. If you experienced conditional love, if you were punished for not being and thinking of the other person, for not sacrificing self, if you were punished for caring about yourself, for standing up for yourself, then it's understandable. So my point is if you're resonating with this and you're like, oh my goodness, I do that. It's not about hating yourself or abandoning yourself for noticing that. It's at least now you can see it. The way we were treated in childhood becomes internalized, and it also becomes unconscious. We start doing it so well that our brain doesn't even have to think about it. We don't have to try anymore. We don't wake up saying, today I'm going to self-abandon. No, it just happens. It becomes that unconscious. So it takes a little bit to even realize we're doing it. So give yourself some slack. Anytime we're hiding ourselves, anytime we are insulting ourselves, rejecting ourselves, getting mad at ourselves for our own normal feelings, anytime we are stuck in people pleasing, all of those things are ways that we self-abandon. Now, you can also self-abandon by yourself. It's not always something that we do just because other people are around, although it becomes more apparent, right? It becomes more easily seen when we start looking at how we show up around people. But it's also when we're all alone, when we don't take time to take care of ourselves, when we don't take time to fulfill the needs that come up inside of us. A need for love, a need for comfort, a need for connection. But we reject those things because we don't think we matter. Other people matter, but we don't. And so we make ourselves so busy doing so that we don't feel or fulfill the needs that are coming up inside of us. That's another way we self-abandon. Another way that we self-abandon is in our inner dialogue, the way we speak to ourselves. If you really listen to how you're talking to yourself when you are feeling sad, when you're feeling shame, when you're feeling fear, the way you talk to yourself in the confinement of your mind is going to give you evidence of either self-love, self-acceptance, emotional support, or the opposite. So those are some ways that it comes up. Now, here's the danger. Here's the downside of self-abandoning. I think one of the biggest challenges and dangers or side effects, however you want to put it, of self-abandonment is the fact that when we are rejecting pieces of ourselves, we are also simultaneously craving that somebody else gives us the emotional support that we need, not that we want. These are emotional needs that we have, right? So we don't give them to ourselves, but without realizing it, we are hoping and expecting other people to meet our emotional needs. And then when they don't, we can often find ourselves very resentful of them. We feel like we're giving and they're not giving back, right? So that's one problem, is the resentment that it causes. But on top of it, it also causes us to form relationships that are super unhealthy. Think about it. If our inner self is saying, I'm rejecting me and I need you so that I can feel better, what kind of person are you going to attract? Normally, you attract another unhealed person that thinks you need me because I'm almost like godlike. You need me to feel better. And then you have two polarized personalities that meet and have a very unhealthy relationship that winds up recreating the scenario in childhood that caused you to self-abandon. So what do you do? What do you do about it if you realize that this is something that you're working through?